Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few weeks. Nothing has really moved on this engine, but in the meantime I've been kind of gathering some tools that I need to finish getting this apart, because I would like to kind of power wash this thing before it gets cold out, but this might be the last weekend for it and I don't know if I'm going to get it all the way pulled apart. So since I really have nothing else to talk about, I thought I would do a tool video. Or tool review. Or in my case, a tool rant. So I have this harmonic balancer off this engine I need to pull. And this is a O2 5.9 Magnum, if you haven't seen the previous couple of videos on it. And it has a different style balancer and pulley up here that I've never seen before. Everything I've worked on previously was late 90s, and it didn't have this kind of setup on there, and I could use the old style puller to get the balancer off. So the first thing I do, I go on to the Mopar engine group on the Facebooks, and this was the tool everyone recommended that would take this off. That's the Aries Harmonic Balancer puller set. And I bought this off of Amazon. Their description said this will work on any Dodge, Chrysler, GM, Ford, every fucking brand you can think of with no problem. And I even read through the user questions just to make sure, and that's where it got sketchy. A lot of people were asking, will this work for the 5.9? A lot of people said, I used it on a 5.2 and it worked perfectly. Well, I've been playing around with Mopar engines long enough. Other than the fact that these are weighted differently, there isn't a whole lot of difference between a harmonic balancer of a 360 and a 318 or 5.2, however you want to say it, that would affect the way the puller pulls it off. But, so, I bought this anyways. And I only paid like 40 bucks for it, so it's not like I'm out a huge amount of money. Because I may just keep it just to have another tool around. But, as you can clearly see here, no way, no how will this ever fit in there to pull this off. So I was thinking, well, maybe these goofballs are using it backwards, like this, and hanging on to the pulley. But that doesn't work either. The jaws aren't long enough to make that work. So either I have some weird engine here that has some sort of funky harmonic balancer on it, or I don't know what's going on here. So maybe I really shouldn't be bashing this tool too much right now. But I just don't see how people can say this works on Dodge engines. I mean, let's look at an LE engine, one of the most popular style. And of course, if you know anything about these require a completely different style puller. So people aren't using this for that. There's no way, no how. Maybe guys are using this for Gen 3 Hemis, but God, I would find it hard to imagine that the Gen 3 Hemis are running that much of a difference. You know what? My truck has a Gen 3. Let's go out and do a little myth busting. Let's see if this will work on my Gen 3 Hemi in my truck. Alright guys, it's a little breezy out here. I'm sorry for that. My stakes are up for my new building. Maybe I'll actually be getting that this week like they said. But who knows, you know, I was supposed to get that back in July. Or August. give us a little light here. Oh, you know, this is completely different. Holy shit. Oh, there really isn't a balance there at all. It's just a pulley. That's crazy. I guess I've never noticed that before when I've been under here changing the oil. I gotta put you down, guys. I can't. I wonder if I could put this camera somewhere where you can kind of see. Well, you guys sit nicely right there. Can you even see? I can't tell from the viewfinder. You know, I don't even know if this would need a puller. To tell you the truth. Yeah, the clamps wouldn't, they're not going to latch onto that too good. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. So, we just busted 3 different engines that this will not work on, but yet this was supposed to work on all Dodge engines. Let's go back in the shop, or the garage. Alright, we're back in the garage here, guys. So, in conclusion, as far as Dodge V8 engines go, this is a bust. I just showed you this won't work on any of the 3 most common engines you're going to find. Maybe it works for like the smaller V6s and 4-cylinders. I have no idea. I don't have anything I can test it on. But if you have a recommendation for me what will work, I would like to hear it. Because pretty much when you search Amazon, everything you come up looks like that. They're really thick, armed looking things that have no adjustability to them. Because I do have, what do I have here? I do have one of these old style pullers. Oh, you know what? The reason my center screw I have for it wasn't long enough. That was the problem. I was just thinking I could reconfigure this maybe to the other holes and make it work, but I might, you know, maybe I should try that. Let's look at that again. But at first, no, because I can flip it around. Yeah, I'll play around with it. I'll get back to you. Well, yes sir, guys. I just spent like 20 minutes playing around with this, reconfiguring this different ways. And this will definitely not work, as I previously assumed. The problem is I either need a smaller one to get down in there better, because the problem is it's just too large to get all 3 fingers in there at the same time. And even to grab on to this pulley in any kind of meaningful way, which I don't think is the right way of doing it. It's one, my jaws don't even really want to seat on there all that well. And 2, in order to do that, the screw part of it is just not long enough. I did put the bolts back in there, I just didn't go all the way in with it to use, and that didn't even really help the situation. In fact, it made it worse. Possibly if I had a big enough one, I could go over the outside of it and grab it, but personally I'd just rather have the right freaking tool to do the job. And I thought that's what I was buying here. So if you guys have any kind of recommendation as to what will work here, I would like to hear it. All I know is there really isn't a part number on here, is there? So it's just a generic puller they expect to work on everything, it looks like. But I'm just so surprised this came so highly recommended when it doesn't do shit. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on the situation. Let me know down in the comments below, and maybe we can get this situation figured out. I'll talk to you guys later.